Okay, it is August 6th, Thursday night. This is our second to the last drill prep meeting before the actual drill on the 15th. I'm just going to run through my agenda. Yell if you have questions as we go. Update on the radio communication plan. Miles is running the radio program this year. You guys all know Miles. Joe Millat, Millatjo, female, is an ACS radio operator, super skilled. She is working this with Miles. So they are putting together a meeting for, I believe it's just the ACS radio operators next Wednesday night. That's what they're shooting for. And they're putting out ICS 205s and WinLink and all kinds of stuff. So they are getting together next Wednesday with the ACS radio operators. I just saw that on email. I don't know much more about it.
Is it to us or to ACS?
It's to ACS. That's my understanding. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell from his message whether or not he wanted the hub radio operators there or not. I don't think so because it's a lot of conversation about WinLink. The hub radio piece of this is, can our radio operators find where the ACS radio operator is so that we could potentially use runners between the hub and the ACS radio folks to shuffle paperwork? That's the piece I know most about. Go ahead, Cindy.
I saw I don't know what they call it, but step by step, this happens at this time, this happened. I saw the original plan and it said ACS would get on the radio at 9:30 and announce their location. And I'm like, my guys are still setting up at 9:30. They aren't expected to be on the air until 10 because we do our safety briefing for everybody up till 10. So if they're announcing where they are, and that's the magic clue, we're going to miss the magic clue.
Gotcha. Okay. I will send out the timeline the way I wrote it originally. I'll send it out to the group and I will coordinate with Joe and see if we can't back that up a bit. I kind of assumed they would. Yeah, exactly. I kind of assumed they would just repeat it. They're not going to know. ACS isn't going to know if the hub radio folks heard them because hub radio is just listening to ham. They're not talking. So they're going to have to repeat it more than once. So I will let Joe know and tell her to don't rush the 9:30 announcements, or at least repeat them.
That's the big flaw I saw with the drill design, right?
Yeah. Okay. So any questions about radio? Okay, pressing on. Air quality issue. I don't know what's going to happen with air quality, but I wanted to check in with you guys and see what your thoughts are. At what point do we call it? If we do call it and we don't stand outside and breathe in wildfire smoke, what's the number? And then what do we do? How do we turn this thing off? So thoughts. Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
So I rode the 16 block watch things on night out. And there was one that had canceled for air quality. Everybody else gathered. Wow. So I thought that was interesting that it was like, and I was like, I got to ride this, whether or not everybody cancels or not. And most people were like, yes.
Wow, I'm surprised.
In our area, we had multiple night outs cancel at the last minute.
Yes, in my area too.
Yeah, one I had a sign up that said canceled, and one I couldn't find, so I assumed they had canceled too. So mixed results. Of course, I live over here in West Seattle, and we get a lot more of the sea breeze clearing, right? So I think I would not cancel unless it was like worse than it's been.
Yeah, I don't know what that number is. And if we did cancel, I don't know. I mean, I can email everybody, but they're not going to get it. I don't know how to cancel this thing. Go ahead, Bill.
How hard would it be to get a supply of N95 masks for hub members and for neighborhood people who visit?
Go ahead, Cindy.
What is it that I have in my storage unit? Aren't those M95s? A buttload of them?
I don't know, Cindy. Are they?
Yeah, they're ones that we picked up from somebody donated. So I'll go look, but Bill, how would I get them to you, right?
Oh, I'm
Well-
gonna make I'm gonna make the run next week. I've got stuff to deliver, so I can absolutely drop off a bunch of N95s.
If I have them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
Um,
some in Rainier Beach, about 10, but would be maybe enough for some of the volunteers, but not the visitors for sure. So
I would say that
Okay.
the number might be around 200, and I don't think that happens very often here in Seattle. Most people are pretty comfortable going out in the hundreds.
You mean
Okay.
the number for cutoff would be about
Yeah.
200?
Yeah, that's what I would
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, I went out to our neighborhood night out on that night, and I think the air quality rating that night was about 125. And honestly, I wasn't experiencing any distress. Then again, I don't have asthma or any other respiratory conditions, but
Yeah.
yeah, it seemed okay to me. And we had a
Okay.
good turnout.
Mhm.
Good. Okay, then let's monitor. Let's look for that number around 200, and we will meet next Thursday, and hopefully we'll have a pretty good estimate of what Saturday is going to look like. So I think we can make a pretty smart call on Thursday if we have to do anything dramatic.
Yep.
Any
Amazing.
other thoughts? Oh, go ahead, Steve.
I ordered 50 N95s from Amazon yesterday for like $17, and they came today. So you can get a lot of masks for relatively cheap if you want to bring them to the event.
Okay. Steve, did you do that for the event or just because air quality in general is getting crappy?
It was the latter. I just wanted to have them around because I'm going to be
Gotcha.
out quite a bit in the next
Right.
couple of weeks.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else about air quality? Okay. Next one, guidance for photographers. This is just a general statement. I haven't even looked at who actually has a photographer designated for the day, but I can tell you what we think we need as far as pictures. It's more of a stand back and give us a sense of what's going on. The last time we had a photographer that was at El Centro, Linda did a really good job of kind of standing next to this person and going, get a shot of that, get a shot of that, get a shot of that. But we got a lot of close-ups, which are good, but a lot of the close-ups, they're not, I'm really uncomfortable using them in promotional things because it's people's faces. And I don't know who these people are. I can't track them down to make sure that they're okay to be on our website or whatever. So if you can guide your photographers to step back a bit and get a better sense of how the hub is set up, like just step back from the canopy and get like the whole canopy in the shot, not two people. So just a thought. You guys do what you want, but that from the network standpoint, that is what we're missing is the broader photos. Yes, Cindy.
I'm too lazy to lean forward and click the thing. There are words that we've put up in the past around if you participate in this, you're given permission. It's a photo permission sign. Do we have that word
Yeah.
anywhere? Because I can post that at the pre-greeter station. It'd be nice if we
Yeah.
could find that and send that back out.
Yeah. I will find that. So photo permission. And then that statement does not apply to kids. If kids are in shots, we don't get to use them. So I will find the wording of that, and I might even print it on like an 11 by 17, and I might laminate it and give it to you and then take it back at the end of the drill so we can just use it moving forward.
Mhm. And if I run
Okay.
across it, I'll let you know.
Okay. Thanks.
Where
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay. Anything else with photos? Photographers? Okay. Next one. These are questions. Are you guys okay with the education stuff that we added? I sent a new table of contents for the education book and 2 additional pieces of information to throw in there. Everybody good? Y'all got page protectors? If you don't, please let me know. I'm happy to swing some by when I drop off all the other goodies to you. Okay. Oh, Gina left and it came back. Welcome back, Gina. You look like you're having technical difficulties. We were just talking about the education book. Are you guys okay with the Roosevelt education book?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Ellen. I wasn't looking at your face to see if you were nodding. Okay. Next one. Any questions with the scripts?
Yeah, I think I have a bit of a disconnect. I thought when you showed it to us originally, Anne, there was a way to kind of modify the location-specific information and have it feed automatically into the script detail. But the ones I'm working with that I got from Frank don't do that. So I'm wondering if I'm
Right.
working off the right thing.
Yeah. So, Mark, Gina Hicks had created that spreadsheet, the one that I showed you guys, and it's lovely and it's fancy and it works really, really well. It was very difficult for me to reproduce that. As soon as you add a line or take out a line, you've screwed up that ability. So I didn't go with such a fancy.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I just want to make
such-
sure I was working off the right thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the one that Frank gave me is the correct one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Go ahead, Cindy.
Anybody else first? Anybody else?
Questions with the scripts? People had a chance to look through them? Do you want to look through them? Certainly don't have to.
So I'll give some opinion guidance that I had. In shift 1, there are some building damage, but I'm an architect. That showed up in shift 2. So I'm pulling that one forward because to me, that's an important lesson for people to see that architects are a valuable resource. So that's one. I think I talked last time about the whole aftershock rumors. There was like several of them, and one's good enough for me. The drill is not a teaching point so much as it is a get the answer. And I have such a new educator, they're going to be flummoxed by that question. So I'm going to throw one at them, but I'm not going to give them 6 because that to me wastes 6 people, right? I counted the medical ones because we weren't planning on setting up a medical tent until I was going through them going, got another one. Oh, got another one. So there really are a total of 47 medical out of the 250. So it's like a fifth of our scripts are medical. So I am going to start as though I have 4 tents, but I've created my pantry organizers to be medical and medical resources and medical supplies. So if I go, oh, look, we've got so many, do we have a nurse who would like to become the medical tent? And then I can just pick up the pantry organizers and move it over and see, because I think that is what will happen in a real world. You may not have any injuries and it can be handled at just a regular supply and resources tent. But if you live in an area where there are a lot of injuries, you better be thinking ahead about how you would do this instant expansion. So I'm going to try that.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know how many folks saw this, but that's what we did last year. We practiced the logistics, not actual providing care, but the logistics of standing up a medical area. And exactly what Cindy's talking about. If you arrange your pantry organizer smartly, when your medical folks are ready to launch, you just hand them 2 pantry organizers, one for people, one for things, and they can start running on their own. And they're not having to run back to the volunteer tent to find out that a new nurse has shown up. If you choose to stand up medical, the hub manager needs to be very aware and very on top of it, because they have to let people know that this is going on, because the greeter has to now start shuffling medical personnel to the medical area. Don't make them stop at volunteer because they'll get lost. The medical area is now up. Let's send the new nurse or whatever straight over to the medical area.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cindy.
No, in my view, the hub manager has to make that decision. The individual tents can say, hey, we're getting overwhelmed, but the hub manager has to do that so they can walk through that whole process. I'm spacing on that we did that in the last exercise, which I can't even remember. I mean, what was last
We
year?
did.
What the
It was
hell
El
it called?
Centro. Yeah.
El Centro. Yeah, so I was busy, so I didn't get to see that. So are there any lessons learned from that we should know about and incorporate?
No, except we did not do a good job of setting our volunteers up for success. We told the greeter, but we told him late. So it was just, I mean, that was kind of what we learned coming out of it is, yeah, it's not that hard to set up, but you do have to get in front of it so that your volunteers aren't clueless. And it's not just the greeter. You got to tell every single canopy that now we have a medical area. This is where it is. Start sending stuff that way.
Okay. Thank
The
you.
other thing we learned, this is just a teaching point, we didn't learn it in the last drill, but what we have learned recently is the best practices for setting up a medical area is do not let one individual be in charge. You should have 2 or 3 people making the decisions about how this area runs. I'm assuming the difficulty in having one person in charge is if they're not making good decisions, you're all screwed. So 3 heads is better than 1. That's kind of the thinking. We haven't practiced that. And I personally think it's a little difficult to practice that. But my understanding is that is kind of best practices. And Steve, I'm going to look at you. Does that pass the sanity test?
It passes the sanity test, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Was Dolores part of that last year? Because she'll be at my hub.
I don't know, Cindy. I don't think she doesn't stand out as being part of medical.
Thanks.
And again, we were just practicing the logistics of starting up a medical area.
It kind
Okay.
of seems like if we have that many scripts, it makes more sense to plan for doing something because we're not going to have extra canopies or tables or things to set up as part of the drill. Unless I think maybe you mentioned last time we're in a meeting about just splitting up the volunteer area too into 2 things. One part of it medical, part of it.
I think if you want to try the medical thing, I would secure another canopy and have it standing by.
Oh, I'll tell you what I was going to do. So I'm in the classic needs and volunteers next to each other. I'm going to put them 1 tent space apart. And so if I have another tent canopy standing by, great. If not, I take the supply medical tent or bag and I turn it around so it's on the outside. And I take the volunteer one and I turn it around so it's on the outside. So now my medical person in between the 2, whether they have a canopy on them or not, at least has the pantry bags where they can go back and forth from.
That's a good thought. Yeah.
So
If your space, yeah.
Oh, I got so much space this time. Oh my God.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Okay. So any questions about scripts or medical? Okay. Next one. Any struggles with gear? Or folks, do you have enough canopies? Do you need help? Okay, not seeing anything. I see the signs behind me. So 2 of the signs you're getting, that's one, start here. And I'm bummed that it's not in our bright orange, but that's the deal. And then this is the what's going on here sign. I gave out 2 of those and I can't for the life of me remember who got them. I'm pretty sure Rainier Beach got one. And I think Madison Valley did.
Yeah, Frank showed us one a few
Okay.
weeks ago, so he must have it.
Okay. So Cindy and Roosevelt.
Did you give it to Ron?
Um,
Because I haven't seen it yet. In Rainier
I don't
Beach.
know.
I don't
Let me
think
double
you gave
check.
it to me. I'm going, we've switched
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't think I got that.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Okay.
hasn't come to you, Cindy. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
seen one yet.
I'll figure it out. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure Roosevelt or Rainier Beach got theirs, but okay. Okay. Does anybody off the top of your head, anybody else missing anything? people, yeah. Index cards for your pantry organizers, canopy signs, lanyards, hub books.
Are you still
Okay.
giving us canopy signs? We don't have any.
Yes, I have that on my list to give you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think I still owe forms to Cindy. Everybody else has gotten theirs.
I got the forms. I got my forms. You
Oh, okay.
Gave me a big dump the other day.
Oh, okay. All right. I remember you saying I gave it to your new hubs, but not you. Okay.
No, and then
So
you
nobody-
gave me one. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Obviously not keeping track.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I kept somebody else's, but they'll let me know later.
Yeah. Okay. Any other things?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
go ahead, Ellen.
probably only have single lanyards, name tags for folks. And if we're going to have two people or hope to have two
Oh.
people at a time, yeah, we were thinking we need to double up on clipboards and pens or steno pads or all of those things. And
So you're going to have two people at a time, or do you mean two shifts?
there are
Sign-
two people per some of the
Yeah.
roles, education and volunteer and resources supplies at least.
Okay. Ellen, I will make another set, but I need it back when we're done. Okay. I don't have gobs to give out. Okay. Anybody else interested in that kind of thing? Having each of your volunteers with a name tag, a lanyard on?
No, because that's not how practice how you're going to fight, right? Unless you're doing training. So I'm just going to go one lanyard and they're going to have to share it, right? This is my junior greeter or whatever, because I don't have enough room in my box to store double up of everything.
Yeah. Do you have a tiny box? Okay. All right. So the last thing I have, formal thing on the agenda, is donations. So we decided when we kicked off this drill that we were going to ask for donations from the public when they arrived. So Wendy created some signs. One of them goes to the donation page at Seattle Parks Foundation. And can I show it to you really quick? And this is kind of important. Okay, so here's the sign. QR code is where that goes. Make a gift. Your support helps us. So that one's an easy one. It's going to be double-sided. I think we're going to maybe get 3 of these signs for each hub site, maybe just 2. I haven't quite figured it out yet. So that's one. Let's stick with donations for a second. I don't know how to handle this, but our rules with Seattle Parks Foundation is that we as a network cannot raise money any other way. We can't do a GoFundMe account. We can't do Give Butter. I don't even know that we can do a bake sale. I don't know quite the rules, but because they are our fiscal sponsor, we have to go through them. All of our money has to be funneled through them so that they get their 10% cut. So the Roosevelt Hub is not, so the network is a partner with Seattle Parks Foundation. And many of our individual hubs are also partners with Seattle Parks Foundation because you've gotten a grant and you've used them as your fiscal sponsor. Roosevelt wants to raise money through their, I guess, Ellen, it's kind of your fiscal sponsor, the Roosevelt Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, we're a project of that group or two.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem, but I don't want to make that call that if somebody from Seattle Parks Foundation comes to the Roosevelt spot, would they, I can't imagine anybody's going to have any grief with Roosevelt raising money for Roosevelt at this drill. Thoughts? This is not my area of expertise, and maybe I should be running this past James.
Well, I have a new complicating because I heard you say that we were going to try and raise money. That's not how we do things in West Seattle. It's just weird. But because I'm in a park, my stipulation in my permit says if I collect any money through receipts or donations, I have to pay the department 10% of the gross receipts.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't know that.
Well, anytime you do something in a park, if you can't usually fundraise without either a permit or you just can't, right?
Okay.
Like if you can't, we've been in community centers and it's like, oh, throw in $5 to pay for the donuts, and we got busted for that.
Okay.
So I
So,
think, yeah, I'm gonna probably go not, I might put it over off, by Beverage Place Park pub or something, but I don't think I can put it in the park.
okay. Too risky for
Yeah.
Seattle parks. None of our other sites are parks foundations. Or,
I think you can probably risk it and with Roosevelt because they're raising for their own hub but as long as they have the other sign there too, maybe in a hidden spot, then we've met the requirement, right?
I think it would be way confusing to have two donation signs in the same spot.
I didn't mean for the foundation one to be highly visible. I meant over by the garbage cans.
Oh.
On the
So
back of
Um,
a tent.
we met the intent
Yeah.
of it, right?
Yeah.
There's something in chat.
Mark had to go. He's okay with they're okay with I think they're okay with raising money at that site at Madison Valley, at MLK Fame, which is where they are. It's not a Seattle Parks thing. Okay. Then Ellen, let's let you go ahead with your own. I think what I need to figure out is whether or not we're going to bother to make these signs. If we can't use them going forward at any park, then is
Any
it
park with well, I know with a permit, I got to play ball, right? If somebody just does a pop-up, which we've sort of gotten the signals that we don't always have to have permits for stuff, but you do get busted for raising money in a park. I mean, like I'm going to take it back and go, I watch people down on Alki Park sell crap all the time, but nobody enforces it, right? So
right?
I think Bill was waving goodbye or he disappeared.
Yeah, Bill had to go.
Why don't you ask the Parks Foundation and say, hey, have you ever run into this? Because they're tied to parks, right? And maybe they've got an exemption.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going, why can't I collect money that helps the Parks Foundation if I'm in a park, but the money grabbing city side?
Yeah.
But maybe she knows something.
Okay. The longer this takes to get settled, the less time I have to get these signs printed. So it may be that it doesn't happen this year, which isn't that big of a deal.
Well, can you do a small run?
The fewer you do, the more expensive they are. I mean, I wasn't going to do tons because I don't think we need 100 of these or anything. So,
but
okay.
We know they'd be usable everywhere, not in a park. So all the church places, all the other ones.
Yeah. The other piece of this was, and this is way too technical. I don't even understand it, but creating a QR code that we can point to any place we want. It might be the Roosevelt, Roosevelt Neighborhood Association donation page. It could be Seattle Parks Foundation. It could be a zillion different places. We own the QR code and we make the QR code go to the spot we want. Makes it super flexible. We never have to put paper over that QR code to make it usable at that site. So just found out that's a possibility today. I don't know how to do that. I've reached out to the admin team and said, dear God, please create this QR code because I don't know what I'm doing. So we had talked about putting that on the other sign. The other sign basically says, hey, learn about the hubs. We're calling it the Get Involved, and I'll show that to you.
One option, Anne, is to do the donate and all the words and just leave a blank where the QR code is. And we add that later and can then change it later too.
Yeah. I like the idea of printing this QR code that we point to wherever we want it to go to.
Yeah, no, I get that. But when you're saying you're down to a week, right?
Yeah, a week and a half. Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you leave it
a week,
blank,
you're right.
if you leave it blank and you send me a thing and go, and Cindy, here's the code to print and put in a page protector and tape it to it for the day,
Yeah. So anyway, we're looking at printing up these signs. I just feel like I'm kind of running out of time, and we don't have money for this. We don't have grant money where this is coming out of, Anne's pocket or the hub's pocket. So anyway, that's all I have prepared. Any other questions you guys have?
So back to that sign you just showed, I'm going to have a person signing people up. I mean, I want that interaction with people because I need to know what hub they're with, how committed are they. The QR codes to me are
Yeah, Cindy, this QR code is not to a sign up. I mean, it could be, but it's not currently. At the moment, this is going to the website.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a table that says all that. Get involved, stop here.
Okay. So
if
you don't want
print
one.
If you don't print it, it won't hurt me.
Okay. I feel like I'm kind of rushing this, and yeah. I'm going with as cheap a printer as I can find that still gets it here on time, and the red or the orange doesn't show up well. So tired of rushing this, and I feel like we're going to get a crappy product. Go ahead, Chris.
Just a couple of questions about the drop off. I've been getting like the signage together. The things that you were talking about dropping off, will you coordinate that with, I don't know if you're
With
giving it
you.
to Ron or to me. And also the last meeting was the vulnerable places cards. Is that going to be part of what you're dropping off?
Yes. So I thank you for bringing that up. So I looked at your vulnerable locations. I think all four of you have given them to me. Man, those are big lists. Crikeys. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that many. So what I'm going to have to do is go direct you to only send people out for these 10 vulnerable places. And here's the 10 index cards that match those. So I'm just going to have to be a little bit more directive because you're going to send people to go check on things and I don't have a card for everything.
I'm not sending people to any place but where you give me a card. That was my understanding, was we'd get about 5 or 10, and I don't have the bandwidth to do any more than that. So you pick whatever 10 sound good to you and we'll play.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do is 10 for each site. So you're going to get 20 index cards. 10 are going to have your vulnerable spots on it. The other 10 are going to have what your volunteers found when they went to those spots. I don't know what system you guys are using now, but I don't want you reading off a list and sending people out. I want you to send them to the 10 index cards that you have, that your volunteer coordinator is hanging on to.
But you're giving us the cards, or we're making them up off of?
I'll give them to you. Yeah, I can print them. It's just easier.
Okay, and I haven't done this before, but getting people to sign up, does the sign up system send out a reminder, or are we doing that individually?
The sign up system sends out a reminder. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 3 days before the event. And then if for some weird reason, we decide to cancel this thing because the air quality is off the charts, we have the ability to send an email whenever we want to everybody that's signed up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can we add
yeah.
anything to the sign up email? Like for Roosevelt, can we talk about parking?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that today. I saw the email that says they're not going to charge for parking. So I would like to tell all your volunteers that.
Yeah. No
Ellen,
bathrooms. Bring your water.
yeah. Bring your water, but not too much water because there's no
Not too
bathrooms.
much. Right.
Yeah. Ellen, if you want to generate, even if you just give me a couple bullet points of things you want to say, I will throw it in an email to the people that are signed up. And I'll probably do that right around the 3 days before, in case somebody new signs up. Because if they sign up, after I send the email, they won't get the notification. I can also change, because I don't think we had the parking information when I created your sign up. I can also change just the basic information when they sign up that says parking is free and no bathrooms. That's a good one. Thanks. Okay. Anything else?
I'm sorry if I missed this and you already covered it, but did we talk about snacks and what needs to be provided?
Yeah, you don't have to provide anything. There is no money for it. So if you're providing snacks, it's coming out of your pocket. So if you can't do it, take it off your things to worry about. And if you want me to take it off your sign up, just yell. I think one of you guys has access. You could do it yourself.
Okay.
Just delete that position. I'm pretty sure Madison Valley is doing it, but I don't know about the other 3 sites. Snacks are not mandatory. We didn't get grant money to pay for it this year. Okay. Other stuff?
Is there, since this is part of my question and it might pop the other people to think about it, this is day 2 of an earthquake. There's no conceivable way that we would be having a hub that doesn't have something on the whiteboards already. Our usual, should we pre-stuff anything? Should we put anything up on the whiteboards? And Ron and I were having a discussion today and I was going, I hate to put up something that says West Seattle Bridge is open and the first inject from the city is West Seattle Bridge is closed. Then we realize that's actually good because I will date mine from the day before. So when that inject comes in, the information manager should go, oh, look, old news, new news, and change it, right? So you might consider what you're going to go ahead and put up on your whiteboards that give your very first visitors something to be reading instead of going, imagine there's this stuff on this whiteboard.
Yeah.
If you go through the hub drill pictures, we take a lot of pictures of the whiteboards. So you just look at that and write crap down from those, and that'll give you a lot of fodder.
Yeah. If I get around to it, my thought was to create a list of pre-staged messages and get it to you guys, hopefully a couple days before the drill. So if you can pull your whiteboards out, you can write it ahead of time. Otherwise, it's what your information manager does in, minute 5 of the drill. So I'll send you pre-staged stuff. And then I'd also like to print forms. I don't want to write them out by hand. It's too much work, but can I throw in information in some have need forms and get you guys to file these so that your pantry organizers aren't completely blank? It's a bit of work, but I'm going to try and do it. And it's nice that I can do it one time and, for hubs benefit.
I would love that. That would let me test my labels before I give it to the poor volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah, having some information for the whiteboard would be great. So I would appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. I will be reaching out to arrange a drop off with all you guys. Go ahead, Cindy.
No, I just did look at the 2-week forecast, and next Saturday it's supposed to be 72 degrees and cloudy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I think it's supposed to rain next Thursday or something, which would be nice. It'd clear out the air and cool things off a little bit. So fingers crossed.
Thank you for all your work, Ann.
Yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed we don't have some crazy shift and, Seattle starts being on fire. I don't know.
Really. All right. Good night.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
see you next Thursday. Okay.
Yep.
All right.